What's up, Agency Go fam? In this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to be as good as possible with 10 tips that you can start implementing right away. As always, if you want my free resources on how to scale your agency, just go to agencygo.io/leads.
So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is to absolutely crush the tagline. Now, the thing about your tagline is that it is actually the first thing that people typically see when they come to your profile. So I'll get about a couple thousand people visiting my profile every single month. And when they come, they first hit this headline. This is what's showing the most around LinkedIn. So if you can really crush it in this headline and give them a direction, you're gonna get a lot more people to A, follow you, and B, take the next step. The goal of any platform is to get them off of the platform and into your email list or funnel, right? So in this, I talk about them joining agencygo.io, and I'll add 10K MRR to their digital marketing agency in 30 days or their money back. Now this enables me to be able to then offer something of value that gets them from LinkedIn into another section. So you want to kill it. Now, you could have an offer like I have, you could have your link, or you could actually tell them a little bit more about what kind of content your profile is going to be making. And then that could keep them around for longer, and it will also come up in searches around those different types of things. So if somebody's searching for agency content, having a killer headline that's going to convert someone from the search bar into your profile that talks specifically about agency content is going to do very well for you. So that's the first thing, kill the tagline. The second thing you're gonna wanna do is have a high contrast profile photo. The reason why high contrast is important is because people are gonna see your profile photo in various shapes and sizes. And because of this, it's really important that it stands out. So you can see here, I have a yellow background. I actually have a yellow and black on everything for the most part because it's very high contrast and yields the most attention grabbing moment for the user or the consumer, etc. And so what I'll do is I'll have these yellow backgrounds because it immediately draws people to the profile photo. So I recommend something that's high contrast. I also recommend something that's of you smiling. When you're just beaming energy, you're gonna get a lot more people to wanna engage with you and contact you because you're just, it's like the law of attraction, right? If you're just happy and you're go-lucky and people wanna talk to you, this is something that's gonna attract more people to your profile. So you want to make sure that you're really engaging with them inside this photo. The third thing that I would do is have an amazing banner image that continues the flow. And when I say flow, remember what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people coming from a search bar or a piece of content, seeing your banner image, seeing your photo, seeing your name, and seeing your headline. And the rest, honestly, doesn't really happen. To be honest, that doesn't really, a lot of people don't come down here. They do, but it's not as many as that hit this section. So this section, you gotta get nailed right away, right? So this banner image that I made that gets a lot of people into my flow, meaning out of the profile into my email newsletter or into whatever action I want them to take. In this case, I want them to go to the podcast, right? And you can find our podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. So that gets them to a next step, that gets them the next step in the flow. This is an amazing, I think, banner image that grabs their attention. And so you can do something like this within Canva. They actually have a free plan. You can start using it right away. You can pay for upgraded features like I do, but you could just start using it right away. They have all sorts of shapes and sizes, and you can make custom sizes by resizing this here. If you just search for LinkedIn banner image, which is 950 by 250, by the way, you can just create banners specific for LinkedIn, right? And this will actually make things easier for you to scale. Now, the other thing you want to do, the fourth step, is to place your content appropriately. So you can see here that I have this carousel view that LinkedIn allows you to do. Now, by default, LinkedIn will only show your most recent activity and posts. And this is something you want to change because you don't want to just show your most recent activity and posts. What you want to do is you want to feature specific content. So you can add a post, you can add a newsletter, you can add an article, you can add a link, you can add media. You can add all these different things, and that's gonna allow for when they do, for the people that are interested in learning more, they come down here, right? They're gonna see your featured content. And so again, everything at least in the Western societies, because they read left to right, everything you want to be up top is the most high converting, and then bottom is least. Obviously you wanna optimize as much as possible, but that's really what people are gonna do. And you wanna go left to right, not right to left. So here, you want your most high through click through thing on the left and then work your way to the right. So what I do is I place my content appropriately. I can always edit it by going into here and actually moving where it's located, right? I can remove from the feature, I can add, but these are my weekly newsletters. And then I'll feature, as the top one, I'll feature the actual subscription for the content, because then this is gonna get the most click-throughs. How I've gone from up to 1,697 subscribers in less than 45 days is because of this, right? And so I'd recommend doing the same thing. Place it front and center. That's step number 5. Place your LinkedIn newsletter front and center in the featured list. Now, the other thing I would do is I would pitch hard in the, and by the way, if you want to actually see the newsletter, right, you can go here. And I recommend starting a newsletter because you can just publish it here by going to write an article when you go to your profile. And then once you click write article, you can publish it, and then it will allow you to publish and start a newsletter. Easiest way to get clients right now is through LinkedIn newsletter. So I really recommend using it. Super easy to set up, super easy to do. You just got to do it. It just makes everything so easy for you. But the next step number 6, is to pitch hard in the job experience section. And the reason I say this is because if you've gotten them this far, right? Think of it as a landing page. If you've gotten them this far, you're trying to build ethos. You're trying to build ethical reasons why they should contact you or work with you, right? You're trying to build credibility. So showing your experience is a way to show credibility. So they can see here, I've owned this agency that drives leads for service companies and generating e-commerce sales for online stores for the last 4 years. A lot of people that listen to my content that are inside the Agency Go membership, they have, are interested in this because they want to know what it's like to run agency for the last 4 years. So I have that experience. So I show it here because the thing to remember is LinkedIn has billions of views every single month coming to their website. So they know exactly how to optimize for conversions on this landing page. So they know that the most high converting content needs to go up here. And as you scroll down, you can get some less optimized converting content down here. But this is where you still want to pitch hard, but it's a little different the lower you go. These people are already probably sold or at least very interested in you to actually have scrolled all the way from the top down to here. So you want to make sure this is really solid. Now, the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that the actual affiliate section here, or not affiliate, but the endorsement section is really good. And so what you could do is if you haven't done this already, you can add endorsements for people to like just by clicking suggested skills, and then ask people, you can actually invite people to endorse you and you can endorse other people. And I always start by actually endorsing other people first. So then that way, especially people that you know and trust, that way it's more likely they're going to do it as well. But you want to get at least a couple dozen of these endorsements in the door. Honestly, it's not super important to have hundreds, which is why I don't really spend a whole lot of time on this. I mean, I'm sure it does help to some extent, but really it's not a huge difference maker I've seen. You just need to have some. If you have none, people are going to be like, I don't know if this person's legit. I don't know if I want to talk to them, right? Then you want to also, step number 8 is give fire affiliate recommendations by getting, in order to get them, right? So in this situation, I actually give out recommendations to other people. And then I've given 6 so far. And then I've received 7, right? Because some people, one person gave it to me naturally, the other people, I gave it to them and then they gave it to me because we had worked together. So they actually had real, legit recommendations. Now, the reason I always start by giving them is because a lot of people don't even realize you could do this on LinkedIn or they've never done it before. So they actually have no idea how to do it. So it's just one great way to build credibility and trust with people is to actually build this recommendation section into your business. Now, one of the last things you want to do is focus on the actual hashtags, right? So I have specific hashtags I talk about quite a bit. One of them is agency growth. So I've set this as one of the hashtags that I can actually target inside of my profile. This is good too, because again, a lot of what LinkedIn's trying to do nowadays and has been pushing for a lot is getting more people to become quote unquote influencers on LinkedIn and content creators on LinkedIn. And if you can signal to the algorithm that you're talking about specific things, you're gonna get more of those people to come through your profile and convert and talk to you, right? So agency growth is what I talk about, and you can set this as whatever you like just by editing it and setting it to whatever you want. Now, the very last tip number 10 for just a fire A++ profile on LinkedIn is to constantly purge the people that are on your list that are following you or that you're following based on, their interest level. So what I'll do is I'll post quite a lot. I'll post 2 times per day, right, on LinkedIn, which to a lot of people might be considered oversharing. But the reason I do it is because it filters out people who are not interested in my content. It gets me noticed by the people who, might not be interested. And that allows me to get hundreds of views per post, which on LinkedIn is actually pretty good in my experience. Now, you do have some people that get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts, but I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars from my LinkedIn profile just by optimizing it with these tips. So I didn't have to get a post to get 1,000 likes to get a big client, right? I've closed clients that pay me over $100,000 just by these tips, right? So I think I will be pushing more on LinkedIn this year and getting a lot more content out there with a lot more engagement. That's the hope. But really, the key, you could follow these steps to just make a super solid profile and you're gonna get conversions. You don't need to get posts to get thousands and thousands of likes. In fact, if you have a really niche account that talks about very specific things, that's actually very likely to get you conversions just because it's so specific, right? So the more niche you can be, the better. You don't need to get hundreds of thousands of likes to get actual conversions from LinkedIn.
And that concludes my video on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more information just like this. And as always, if you want all my resources on how to scale your agency, go to agencygo.io/leads to get everything for free.